Well, today's results a victory for Philip Westmoreland. The Commonwealth had the burden of convincing 12 people to all agree beyond a reasonable doubt that his actions on May 10th of 2019 constituted involuntary manslaughter. And the Commonwealth was not able to meet their burden. He's presumed innocent, he's still innocent, and he maintains his innocence. Now, that being said, it doesn't diminish the tragedy that happened that day. Mr. Westmoreland continues to grieve for the loss of Roger Roberts and Kevin Roberts and Samantha Lewis and Paul Ruley. That was a terrible accident that shook this community almost 3 years ago now. We hope that today's result sends a message to the Commonwealth that Mr. Westmoreland is innocent and that he can move on with his life, and so can the families of the victims themselves. Well, I think the jury really paid attention to the evidence. This was a very complex case. It involved experts on both sides who had to educate the jury about the engineering behind fuel systems and petroleum delivery. And it's not rare for a jury to take this much time to really carefully examine the evidence. But they deliberated for 2 days, and they could not agree beyond a reasonable doubt that he was guilty of the crimes that were alleged. Well, we stood up after the judge discharged the jury, and we asked the judge to formally move to dismiss the charges at this time. The Commonwealth does have the option, if they so choose, after a mistrial is declared, to reconvene a second jury trial at some date into the future. But we look forward to speaking to the judge first about our motion. The judge is going to have to make a decision about our motion to dismiss at some point in the next 30 to 60 days. He agreed to do that after the jury was discharged today, and then the Commonwealth will have to make a decision about whether to bring this case for a second trial or to allow both sides to move on. I think this jury, by not being able to return a guilty verdict, spoke loud and clear that Mr. Westmoreland is innocent of the crimes that are alleged. The case itself procedurally is still pending, but this is a result that we can all point to. He's relieved. He wants this to be over. He wants to get on with his life.